who are looking to scam consumers and illegally profit off the popularity of the NFL, your home team, and the Super Bowl game. Don't put yourself at risk. Buy authentic NFL merchandise from established retailers and online shops, and beware of phony websites, social media ads, and marketplace listings that sell counterfeit merchandise and tickets and can also put your financial information at risk. Counterfeiting crimes don't only hurt fans, they also harm the local businesses, legitimate retailers, and licensees who support the local economy and play by the rules. Over the last several decades and leading up to this Super Bowl 54, the NFL has worked to give its fans an authentic NFL experience and protect them from the sale of counterfeit merchandise and tickets through civil enforcement efforts and collaboration with law enforcement, including the agencies here on the stage with us. We are pleased to report that for the 38th consecutive year, the NFL has obtained a civil court order to assist in the immediate seizure of counterfeit merchandise and tickets that are found in Miami in the coming days. Protecting our fans continues to be a top priority over Super Bowl weekend, just as it is over the course of the year. The NFL supports criminal and civil enforcement efforts across the country and around the globe in both the brick and mortar and e-commerce space. For example, over the past year alone, we have enforced against hundreds of thousands of e-commerce listings, ads, sites, and sellers that sell counterfeit products. The NFL remains committed to a broad range of consumer protection measures. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Michael Buchwald, who will discuss our efforts to combat the sale of counterfeit tickets.
Okay, thank you, Bonnie. With all the excitement building ahead of Sunday's game, we wanted to take a moment to remind fans to be careful of con artists selling counterfeit Super Bowl tickets. Every year, we see fans who arrive at the stadium on game day, only to be turned away at the gates because they bought counterfeit tickets. The quality of counterfeit tickets can be very sophisticated, but no matter how real the tickets may look, a fake ticket will not get you into the game. That's why we strongly discourage fans from buying tickets from any suspicious sources. Even if a ticket looks real, it could have been reported lost or stolen, which means the person holding it may not be granted entry into the stadium. The only way to ensure that you are buying the real thing is to buy tickets from reliable sources, like the NFL Ticket Exchange, On Location, or established ticket retailers that you can trust. In order to curtail criminals' ability to create fake tickets, the NFL has implemented a number of special security features in each authentic Super Bowl ticket. As you can see, the front of the ticket includes custom clear polymer graphics with a raised appearance that you can see and feel. The back of each ticket also contains a true color security label, this year with images of the 100 logo and the Super Bowl 54 logo. Thermochromic ink is used on the graphic on the lower part of the ticket back. The Super Bowl 54 Miami logo will fade when heat is applied and will return when the heat source is removed. Again, our message is simple. Don't put yourself at risk. Watch out for criminals who are looking to scam you. And please buy tickets only from reliable sources. We'd now like to invite Steve Francis, IPR Center Director, to tell us about Operation Team Player.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Bonnie. And good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking the CBP Port Director, Chris Maston, and Miami-Dade Major Eric Garcia, who are here with me today. Our success heavily relies upon building effective partnerships with our federal, state, and local law enforcement officials, and this work can't be done alone. It's been an exciting few weeks here in Miami as the region opens its doors to football fans from San Francisco, Kansas City, and around the world for Super Bowl 54. With the kickoff now a few days away, I'd like to take this opportunity to share some information with you on the background relating to the HSI-led initiative, Operation Team Player, which was created to target international shipments of counterfeit sporting merchandise as it enters in and is distributed throughout the United States. The operation is overseen by the National Intellectual Property Rights Coordination Center in Washington, D.C., and runs throughout the year. The IPR Center assists and supports law enforcement authorities who have identified warehouses, stores, flea markets, street and online vendors selling counterfeit sportswear and tickets throughout the country, including many of the items we have here on display today. Fake jerseys, tickets, jewelry, ball caps, t-shirts, jackets, and other souvenirs are among the counterfeit merchandise and clothing confiscated by HSI special agents, CBP officers, and state and local police departments around the country, all in partnership with the NFL. Make no mistake, the theft of intellectual property rights is not a victimless crime. The illicit proceeds resulting from the sale of counterfeit or unlicensed products are, more often than not, funneled to support a broad range of criminal activity, to include human trafficking, forced labor, identity theft, drug smuggling, just to name a few. The illegal manufacture and sale of counterfeit goods represent predatory trade practices that endanger the public health and our economy and restrict the competitiveness of U.S. products in the global market. Fans that spend their hard-earned money to support the NFL and their favorite team can be rest assured that HSI and its law enforcement partners are working around the clock to ensure that they are getting genuine, high-quality official licensed merchandise in return. Our overall message is simple. Purchase from reputable dealers, be cautious when shopping online, and use common sense. If a deal is too good to be true, it probably is. As Super Bowl 54 rapidly approaches, I'm happy to report at this time, between last year's game and this year's games, we have collectively seized over 176,000 counterfeit items with a value of more than $120 million. In addition to these seizures, law enforcement officers have made 25 criminal arrests in relation to Operation Team Player, and our efforts will continue throughout the year. And this effort could not have been done without the leadership of HSI Special Agent Tony Salisbury and the HSI Special Agents here in Miami and the agents across the country and our law enforcement partners. So these record-breaking numbers affirm law enforcement's commitment to protecting the health and safety of American consumers, the economy, and legitimate businesses from criminals exploiting fan enthusiasm here at Super Bowl 54. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. We'll now hear from Chris Maston from CBP.
Thank you. Good morning. Customs and Border Protection's mission is to secure our nation's borders. Part of that mission is to ensure the safe and secure flow of trade across our international boundaries. An important objective toward that goal is the enforcement of intellectual property rights laws. And when we're talking about IPR, we're talking about trademark, copyright, and patent laws, laws that are on the books to, first and foremost, protect American consumers. Most of the seizures that we execute where we find these violations, the merchandise is not compliant with health and safety requirements to begin with. And secondly, to really protect the right holders, the companies who have created these brands. I mean, the theft of the brand is equal to the theft of the property. Last year, Customs and Border Protection at our ports of entry seized over 27,000 shipments of goods that were found in violation of IPR laws, worth $1.5 billion. Now, that's $1.5 billion worth of goods that could potentially pose a health and safety risk to consumers, and $1.5 billion impact on the industry and the companies that own those brands. So the weeks leading up to this year's Super Bowl, we've leveraged our partnerships with HSI, with our state and local partners, and the NFL to really crack down on these counterfeiters, to go after these organizations. And what we have in front of you here today are just some of the examples of that effort. The NFL and the teams that comprise it, they have strong identities. These identities are really part of the American identity, if you will, our culture. And it's imperative that we at Customs and Border Protection and our partners get together and maintain and do everything that we can to maintain the integrity of these institutions. So we'll continue to do that, certainly under the context of our border security and national security mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And next we have Major Eric Garcia from Miami-Dade PD.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Bonnie. I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you to the NFL as well as our federal partners for their continued support and collaboration in combating the counterfeit merchandise as well as the violations of intellectual property rights. As part of the Miami-Dade Police Department's continued commitment to safeguarding the citizens of Miami-Dade County, as well as the many travelers that will be coming to our great state and Dade County to partake in the Super Bowl, I would like to take a moment to let you know the different things that we're doing to go ahead and combat the different issues that we have dealing with counterfeit merchandise. The Miami-Dade Police Department is working with investigators from local, state, and federal law enforcement partners who have jointly partnered with the NFL to proactively curtail, enforce, and prosecute cases related to the sale of counterfeit or fraudulent merchandise and tickets. During this endeavor, these investigators, who have been trained by NFL representatives, have conducted numerous operations throughout Miami-Dade County, identifying locations and individuals whom are knowingly selling counterfeit merchandise to consumers as official NFL products. In addition to thwarting these efforts to deceive consumers within our community, trained investigators will be on the grounds of the Hard Rock Stadium as well as adjacent properties on Super Bowl Sunday, actively conducting overt and covert operations, seeking out those individuals attempting to deceive the attending fans with fraudulent tickets or merchandise. When fans and consumers spend their hard-earned money to purchase NFL merchandise and or tickets, they deserve the real deal. In an effort to educate the public and to prevent you from potentially becoming a victim, we strongly urge you to avoid purchasing online from suspicious sites and or individuals. Avoid purchasing tickets on the streets near the stadium and or Super Bowl related events as we approach Sunday's game. And finally, as I've mentioned before, if the deal is too good to be true, then it probably is. Thank you, and the Miami-Dade Police Department will continue to do its best to ensure that everyone will have a safe and exciting Super Bowl. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. We'd like to thank everybody for attending this press conference. Once again, we just want to remind fans to remain vigilant, don't put yourself at risk, buy NFL merchandise and tickets from trusted and reputable sources, and most of all, enjoy the game on Sunday. Thank you.